Welcome everyone back to the European Journeyman, and in today's episode we have our very first transfer special at Tabor Sezana. We obviously had one at Energetic, but we are no longer at that club. We are at Tabor Sezana, and we have been promoted from the Slovenian second division. So if you're wondering, did we make the right or wrong decision? Well, I think in the end, obviously we didn't really have much choice because we got sacked, but I think in the end we're probably doing okay. So the Belarusian highest league, which is the top division in Belarus, are currently ranked 47th in the world. We obviously did take a step down going to the Slovenian second division, which are ranked 87th in the world. But since our promotion to the first league, we're now managing a club 10 places higher than the Belarusian highest league. We are in the Slovenian first league, which if you look around the other teams, we're somewhere ranked around, I think that's the second tier in Holland, the second, just below the second tier of France, second tier of Spain, just above League One to third tier of England. So we're around that kind of point. Last year, actually, Bravo won the league, which I don't think is a team who... They may never have won it before, at least from what I can see in the history in the game. Usually it's Maribor. I know Maribor had a stretch where they won it a lot. Recently so this is about what I remember them winning it a lot. Recently it's been a bit more back and forth with them and Olympia. Kelj and Mura have also won the league, so definitely a different winner there. I'm wondering if they have ever would it even show up. I think it would. So I think this is, they won the Slovenian second league in 2019, and they actually came up from the third division in 2017, so they've had a good rise. And they then won the cup in 2022, which wouldn't be, that would actually be in real life, not in the game. They runner-up in the cup. So, this is the first time they've ever won the league. Saying that, I need to check. The league doesn't split, does it? No. Or does it? No, this is that's the relegation playoff. Yeah, so just 36 games, 4 times you play each other, which is quite a lot. So there's only 10 teams in the league. We are going to be one of them. Us and Gorica are in the playoffs. So they have a playoff game against Randomj. So they'll play them in the playoffs. So either Randomj will stay in the league or Gorica will go down. Our affiliate club are actually finished bottom of the league on 18 points. So we know around about 40 points should be enough to stay up next year. So definitely not a low amount to stay in the league, but I think we can do that. So we probably need to win around about 10 games, 10 to 15 games, and that should be us safely in the league. But there is obviously Europe in the league as well that we're going into. So top 4 get Europe, depending on the cup as well. Slovenian Cup was won by... It hasn't been done yet. So it's either Rogashka, who finished 13th in the second division, or Maribor, who are, one of the better teams in the country. So it's probably going to be Maribor. So usually it'll probably be about top 4 will finish in Europe. I think, given how dominant we were this year, we only lost the 1 game all season. I would expect us next year, if we can bring the right players in, to try and finish in top 4. I think that would be a good aim. I don't think we'll be good enough to challenge for the league, but even the league winner this year, they only got 67 points. So they weren't dominant. It was definitely quite an even league. Olympia, second. Maribor actually not getting Europe at all is interesting. But obviously they could then get that European spot if they win the cup because, I guess Illuminage, they can't get Europe, even though they finished 4th, because it's either going to be Maribor, who finished outside the top 4, or it's going to be the second division side. So, that we won't worry about any of that. We will firstly, though, discuss the wheel. We obviously have our countries that we've got. So at the end of every season, if you're not familiar with the rules, we are allowed in the European Journeyman to remove up to 2 teams optionally and replace them with 2 other teams from the wheel. So I think the first thing we're going to do is decide, do we want to remove 2 teams? So we're going in. So I think first one, Belarus, they're gone. We've done Belarus. We don't need to go back. So they're gone. So they will be gone from 15th of Jan 2026. So we won't go to Belarus regardless of what happens. I'm looking at the rest of it. So Slovenian First League at 37. So we need to see, do any of the top leagues, are they lower than that? So Israel 18th, definitely higher. Greek 21st, they're higher. Denmark 17th and Swiss 12th. It does give me food for thought. Do we actually need to remove any of these? Is there any of these that actually don't seem that good? I would say no, But there is a part of me that thinks, obviously in Football Manager, you do tend to get jobs geographically close to you. None of these, or because you speak the language, right? So if we'd created ourselves as a Greek manager, we're much more likely to get job offers from Greece. Obviously, we haven't had any job offers yet. We've only moved clubs because of a sacking. So I would say, do we want to take a country out, even though they're probably better than Slovenia now, but it's potentially a country that speaks English? So Scotland, Ireland. I mean, that would be a step down anyway, but maybe Scotland. I guess that's the only one really. So, with the amount of teams, it's maybe a gamble. Yeah, I think the question is, which one do we take out? I think Israel's the lowest, right? Greek at 21st, actually. So I think Greece might be the shout. See, the thing is as well, is if you got, we've got a lot of leagues with only 2 teams. So we'd be better off getting a country that has more leagues, because there's more chance to go there. It's very interesting. I don't know. I'm just thinking in like the grand scheme of where these countries are. Obviously, Denmark, Switzerland. Israel's, it's pretty much Asia. Yeah, it's really not Europe. So the chance of us getting a move there. Whereas because we're in Slovenia, if we get like a Croatia or Slovakia or something, there's much more chance of getting a job there because it's close. I think geography could be at play there. So it's definitely interesting. I think what we'll do, I think we'll take Israel out. Bad juju with Israel anyway. But we'll take them out. So they'll be gone from June 2025. So basically at the start of next season, they'll be gone. Belarus will be gone from January. So we need to get up our wheel and we need to find the 2 teams or the 2 countries that are going to replace them. So we have our wheel. So these are all the teams remaining. Obviously, one thing we don't have is any of the big leagues. So we don't have like a France or a Spain or an Italy or anything like that. So getting one of those in, that could be really good. Obviously, we kind of want to avoid the smaller countries now. We really don't want to get Gibraltar. We probably don't want to get Wales. We'd really want a bigger country. Now, ideally, we could get something that's kind of close to Slovenia. That could, help us out a little bit. But there is still quite a few countries in here where if we get them, we're probably not going to go to that country anyway. So we need a little bit of luck. A big country could be good. Scotland would be good because obviously English-speaking manager, probably more likely to move there. Probably wouldn't want to go to Wales or Ireland, Northern Ireland anyway. But you never know. Germany would be good. Any of the big ones would be good, or anything close. Even something that's a little bit different could be good. Like Turkey or something. That could be quite fun. So we'll spin the wheel. So this is the first of 2 countries. So this is the country that's going to replace Belarus, I guess. Oh, that's good. Okay, I thought it was going to fall in Northern Ireland, but Netherlands is a good one. I do like Netherlands. That's the kind of country that could stay here for the entire time. So we're allowed 6 in total. So not including England. Your best one, because obviously the goal is to win the Champions League. So the best countries we could be overall, if you think about it, you probably want Spain, Germany, Italy, France. Probably then one of Portugal, Netherlands and Turkey. Those are probably the ones, and even then they're the sort of second tiers. Obviously Germany, Spain, Italy, France would be the top 4 where you could realistically win a Champions League at one of those clubs. But Holland, obviously if you can get to like an Ajax or a PSV, you've got a really good chance of making a very good manager and a very good career out of yourself. So I'm very happy with Netherlands. We will accept that as the first one, but we do have to get obviously our second one. So I will take anything now, because I think we've got a really good one. And it looks like, okay, we're going to take Wales. So, not the worst. No, it is probably one of the worst ones we could have pulled out. But at least we got a good one for the first one. So, Wales and Netherlands will be the 2 countries we will load. Wales, even though we're probably more likely to get a job offer from somewhere there, even if it was like TNS, I just don't see us going there because most of the sides aren't professional and the money just wouldn't be right. It's a step down, basically. So we will add Wales for the season, but they're basically fodder for the next season to go now. So we'll take Wales out, and those are the 2 teams gone. So Netherlands and Wales out of the wheel. This is what's left for next season, but obviously we have no plans of moving anyway because we are recently promoted. So we will add Netherlands, we will add Wales, and they will load in as they load in. So as you can see, we've added in Wales and Netherlands. So Wales goes down to Cymru North and South. So they'll be on the 25th of June. And then Netherlands is 2 divisions, so the Keukenkampioen, which I think is still a little bit above where we are in the Slovenian First League. So that would be, even if we went to the Netherlands second division, that to me is a very good pull. So Netherlands, that's probably one of the countries we will probably have for the entirety of this. The rest of them, definitely fodder. Obviously, Belarus and Israel will be leaving, and then Wales. There will be a period of time where we will have Belarus will outstay its welcome, but we won't pay any attention to it. Essentially, from next season, they're gone anyway. We can't use them. Israel, same thing. So the end of this season, we can't use them. And then obviously, Wales are coming in June. We probably won't go there anyway. Netherlands will come in July. Potentially could see some movement. But again, we've still got Greece, Switzerland, Denmark. We could go to any of those countries. All of those is a step up on Slovenia. So if we get any job offers from any of the leagues loaded, bar Wales, it's probably a step up and would probably take it. But obviously, we aren't going to, per the rules, we can't go searching for jobs. We have to stay until we get a job offer. So our big job now is to turn Tabor Sezana from a recently promoted side into a European pushing side, which is what this transfer special is going to hopefully be about. So just to clue you in on where we are in terms of the squad, so we are a little bit under budget, or the bank balance is a little bit tough. We do have no debts, so we're good there. We've got some sponsorship yet to come in, so that'll probably pretty much clear the debts, but we don't have a lot of outstanding money. We are spending about $9,000. Our budget is really not that high. It's 11,450. We do have one player who's coming in already. So Ibrahim Diarra is a Malian 18-year-old winger. He looks really good. He's quick. He's got some good mentals for his age and some decent technicals as well. He's going to be our new starting right mid to replace Valletta. As you can see, he's been playing in Mali for quite a few seasons. He must have started when he was like 16, which is crazy. So he joins us on a free transfer on the 1st of July. So that means we do have some slightly different rules as well by getting promoted. So obviously the rules are a little bit more lax. So you can have 3 non-EU players. So obviously Pajaro, our Colombian left winger, counts as 1. This guy just coming in will count as 2. So we do have 1 extra non-EU spot if we came across a really good, African or what have you. You have to have 1 under-21 Slovenian player in the starting 11. So that'll probably still be our striker. Obviously, we've got Pavlovic, we've got Valletta, who we've been using because we had to have 2 in the second division, but you only have to have 1 in the first division. So we will probably just stick with Pavlovic because he's probably been the better of the 2. The squad must have at least 8 players trained by Slovenia, basically homegrown in nation. So that's in the squad. So that includes the bench. I don't know if there's more players on the bench. I don't know how many players you can have. I'm reading the wrong thing here. We need to go on the first league. It's the same rules, but I don't know how many players you get on the bench, whether it's more. Don't know. So nations treated is EU, is Ukraine, any EU nation, and free trade association. So if we came across an English player, we couldn't actually get him because he'd be non-EU. Well, we could use it at one of the spots. There's some loan stuff as well, but basically it's a little bit more relaxed. So we had to have 10 and 2 players in the starting 11. Now we only need 1 in the starting 11. And again, we can sub them off straight away if we really wanted to bend the rules. But we do have, so we've got 2. So we've gone from 2 in the, I'm absolutely butchering this, 2 under 18 players or under 21 players in the starting lineup. And obviously, if we sign one who's really good, they could just come into our 11 anyway, and that would really open it up. But we are going to go, I think we're going to stick with the 4-2-4. It worked, obviously, an absolute treat last season. Most of these players will probably be staying because most of them are, first division quality anyway. Tomaskovic, really good. I think if we could get a really good goalkeeper in, that could be one. I think, we've obviously got that right mid coming in. We probably need a really good striker. I think that's where we're weak. We will probably have to stick with Pavlovic because I think Valletta will get replaced by that other guy. But you never know. We could obviously make some movement there. Everyone not in the squad, so our backup goalkeeper is kicking up. He wants to leave, so he might go. Everyone else is probably due to stay. So Mavritic, obviously one of the new boys, he's staying. So that's the 11 we've got, plus Mavritic. Everyone else is either out of contract. So people like Seliskar, Jakazupin, Serevek, they're going to go on a free. And then the rest of the players are players we are trying to move on. So we're trying to sell Bakayoko. The striker, absolutely no good. He's going. Jalunas, we just don't need him. He's not good enough. Jakupovic isn't good enough for the first division. Bandera, we just have too many centre mids, so he's probably on his way out. And Rock Bozic as well. So if we can get some money for them, great, because we probably need the money. Otherwise, we're just obviously getting all these wages off the wage. So some bits have happened since that little gap. So our sponsorship came in. It's actually gone up a little bit as well. We've got a new sponsor for 250k. So that means our balance is back in the positive, which is really good. A couple of players have left the club already. Rock Bozic has left on a free to Ironi Tiberius in Israel. Odd transfer, but there you go. Bandera has found himself a club, but he's not leaving until the 1st of July. He's going back to Portugal in the Portuguese second league to SAD Alverca, whoever they are. So he's going there. Again, he's not really good enough for the step up anyway, so won't worry about it. Other than that, we haven't really brought anyone in yet. We're obviously waiting for 1st of July, which is free transfer day. We've got about 3k to spend. Personally, I have started a new coaching course, so for obviously we're allowed one a year. We have been slacking on that because Energetic were really tight and didn't allow us to do one in either year. But Tabor have been a much nicer team. The club themselves have actually gone up in reputation. We went from a star to 1.5 star, which is really good. We are currently, where are we? So Gorica did lose their playoff place, and as you'll notice, Ragaska actually won 1-0 in the final, so that Europa League, so they are actually going to be playing Europa League, or at least the qualifiers, in the second division, which is crazy. So they'll be playing Europa and Conference League, so that'll be a big boost of money for them. So really, they should be looking, maybe not for promotion next season, but the season after, when they've got all that cash coming in. And they might even get some sponsors for being in Europe as well. We've also moved grounds for some reason. There's something to do with like league regulations. So we're now playing at Sportny Park, which has a capacity of 500. So we won't be making much money from gate receipts at all. I don't think we'll even cover the rent, to be honest with that. But there you go. So we've moved to a 500-seater stadium. Absolutely massive. Yeah, there was something else. Oh, yeah. New contract. The board offered me a 1-year extension. No pay rise. Tried to get an extra 50, 100 quid. They weren't about it. So we're still on the same amount, £600 a week, but, you know, whatever. And we've got a new deal till the end of the season. So we are in for the end of the season. Obviously, our goal, we've been given from the board to stay up. Nothing higher, but I think we should be going for top 4 because we absolutely bossed the league this year. So I think we can try and do that again and try and get top 4 next season. So a couple of the awards have been thrown around. Pajaro won Player of the Year for the second division. We didn't get top goal scorer. He was second in the top goal scorer. I'm not sure how it's actually being decided. Maybe he just had less appearances because he had the same number of goals and assists, but maybe he just this fella did it in less appearances. I don't know. But either way, Pajaro robbed. We won Manager of the Year, obviously, as you'd expect. And then our goalkeeper, Tomaskovic, our Dosis, our midfielder, and Valletta actually got into the Team of the Year. So maybe I shouldn't be... I guess we've got that Mali player coming in. I think, yeah, that's it. Slovenian First League has moved up one place to 36 in the league table. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And yeah, that's where the coefficiency went. So we are still clicking on. Nothing really done yet. We've had a couple of players in on trial, not really made any headway. No one else has left. So probably won't be till 1st of July when we can actually start to hopefully bring some players in. So we have reached the 1st of July. So these are the couple deals that have gone down. I don't know where Rock Bozic gone. Where's Rock Bozic gone? He was definitely on this list. Hang on. What's going on here? Well, I'm sure he was on this list. He's reading... Hang on. Whoa. Big glitch in the game. We know Rock Bozic went to Ironi Tiberius. I think because we've loaded in Wales, he's like, his character or whatever has just been taken out of the game and replaced with a English centre-back who's joined a Welsh side. That is odd. I've never seen that. So if we type in Rock Bozic, can we not get him anymore? Is he just does he not exist? Well, he was a centre mid. Yeah, that's not him. So, Rock Bozic ceases to exist. He's now Bailey Turl. He's renamed himself and went to start in Wales. So you can tell the Welsh League's loaded in. I didn't realise that's how they did the sort of player stuff. So if you sell a player probably to a league that isn't... So is Israel gone now? Yeah, so because we've taken Israel out, it'll have just replaced those players with players for these teams and probably added a few more. That's interesting. Didn't realize that's how it worked. Anyway, won't worry about that. That's the inner workings of Football Manager. Mauro Bandera has left the club. Obviously joined us on a free transfer. Played a few games. It was quite good, but obviously in the end has been replaced. A couple of players have been released. Seravec actually retired. So at 34-year-old, he's now a scout. Not a very good one at that, but he's now became a scout. Derfasevic left. Just not good enough. Yakazupan, he's okay. Probably okay for a second division side, but we're going in the first league, so not good enough. And Seliskar, again, yeah, he's a third league player, so nowhere near good enough. Spent quite a few years at us, but never really played too much. 1 assist, which means we have a budget of, well, yeah, it really hasn't changed that much, £9,500, and we have about a 12k budget. So we've got about 2.5k, about 3k if we probably move this over, 2.6k, okay. About 2,600 to work with. We are allowed 2 foreign players in the squad, so once we slot Diarra into there, and put Valletta on the bench, we will keep the rest of these lads off the bench. So it's quite a big bench. It's up to 12 players now, and we really only need 8. So we've got Bashir, Zizek, Pavlovic, Femisek. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got 6 players who are Slovenian. So we need 2 more Slovenians to sit on the bench, or we just need to have basically 10 subs with 2 left. So if we were to put someone like Jakupovic on the bench, we'd only need 1 more. We are still trying to get rid of these 3. But, well, yeah, obviously we need to bring some players in, so you never know. They may even end up staying. We probably could use a striker, so maybe keeping Jakupovic isn't the worst thing. You know what? We might just keep you. For now, we'll just keep... No, I think we can do better. We'll try and sell him. If not, we'll just keep him. So we need, obviously, 3. We can have 3 non-EU. So we've got Diarra in, who is a little bit not as good as we first thought when we first looked at him. But I think he's still good. Good second league player with, high potential. I think that's the important part. I think he'll be good. I think he will turn good. And we've obviously got Valletta as the other under-21 should Pavlovic get injured. He's definitely not been sold. He's, young with potential still, so we'll keep him. Mavritic, obviously, on the bench. So this is the team we're going with. We may end up playing Mavritic over Bashir, but obviously he needs to learn the position a little bit more. Let's just see, actually. He's a good first league player. I think Bashir, he's 3.5 star, so decent first league player. Let's swap him. Let's and let's do the preseason to build him up. So this is probably the team. Pajaro still the main man. We probably need a better goalkeeper, maybe. No, he's actually okay. I think nearly everyone's... Yeah, we probably could do with a better left-back. Probably a really good centre-back to partner with Moretti. I don't think Buffon is going to cut it in the first division. Tomaskovic, I'm happy with at right-back. Midfield, I'm happy with. Attack, I'm happy with. We probably need a striker as well. So probably someone a little bit better than Kevin Zizek. So we probably need a striker, but obviously we need some players in. So if we can improve on what we've got, I think a left-back, a centre-back, and a striker would be the main ones. If we can get a really good right mid in and just put Diarra on bench, that's also a good move as well. But we pretty much match in all of these, so we're allowed 1 more EU spot, and we either need to get 2 Slovenians in for the bench, or we can just leave 2 spaces, and that'll be just enough, good enough as well. So that's it. Obviously, finances are already dwindling because we do spend a fair bit, but there you go. So we're 1st of July now, so we'll go see what's available, and hopefully when we come back, we'll have a host of new players to show you. So we have reached the first game of the season. Pre-season is not very long here in Slovenia, first division. We won 3-0 against the second division side, and then we drew 0-0 with the second division side. So that pretty much shows where we are. We are still pretty much a good second division side. Season preview wise, now we have done all of our transfers. We are second bottom. Ramdolj expected to finish really far bottom, but we're kind of in and amongst some teams that finished in Europe, got in Europe spots last year. So I don't think there's anything to say we can't get in the top 4. We don't really have anyone in the Dream 11. Our best player is still John David Pajaro, and then Ibrahim Diarra, who we obviously brought in as the African midfielder. So we have done a little bit of business, so we will go through that. First of all, Jalunas has left the club. He's gone to SV Waldorf in Germany on a free transfer. We've brought 4 players in. So the first one in is Alison Faye. He is a Senegalese defensive midfielder, ball-winning midfielder. He's on a 2-year deal, 1.1k. He'd been playing his football over in Armenia previously, obviously formerly of Senegal and the Gambia as well. He looks really good. At just 21. He's got some potential to grow as well. Hopefully those technicals improve. A couple of loans in, not a market I usually use, but when it's free transfers, free loans, and you can't really go wrong. I've only brought them in a 7-month one, so at the 12th of Feb, pretty much after that winter break, they will go. So we'll probably need to bring in some replacements. He's just a left-back Croatian 18-year-old, leading second league, but lots of potential there. He's in on a loan till Feb from Hajduk in Croatia. And then another one, Aljaz Vorganic. He is on loan from Maribor on a free loan till February. He actually looks really good. I think there's a good chance we try and extend his loan as soon as possible. He has played a couple of games for Maribor, spent last season on loan in the second league, got 5 and 18, so didn't really, set the world alight. But I think, looking at him, his mentals are shocking. His mentals are really bad. But in the ones that you need for an advanced forward, he's actually okay. So his decisions are good, composure, anticipation's not bad, work rate's decent, but he's very quick, he's young, he's got potential, only 18, so he counts as that under 21 player. I think he'll be good. And then the last guy in the building is Shaibu, something or other. I'm just going to call him Shaibu. He's in on a 1-year deal, £950 a week until the end of the season. He was formerly playing in the German lower leagues, scored loads of goals in the very lower leagues of Germany. So we'll see what he's been up to. Don't really know who he is, where he's been kicking about. Some very different looking teams that I've never really heard of in Germany. But he's in. He can play on the right, he can play on the left, he can play up front. So he's going to be basically our bench player. And because he's been playing in Germany his whole life, he does have EU nationality. He is a German national, so even though he is Togo, represents Togo, he does have eligibility in Germany, so he is a EU player. Alison Faye is non-EU, so he takes up our last spot. So we've got 3 non-EU players now in Pajaro, Diarra and Faye. We've got our new under-21 player in Vorganic on loan, and then we have 8 players overall if Slovenia, including Mavratic, Zizek, and obviously Vorganic in the starting 11. Our backup goalkeeper, our Basia centre mid, Valletta, Pavlovic, and Jakubovic. We are still trying to move on Bakayoko and Jakubovic. 1 or 2 may stay. They both might stay because we're actually struggling to get them out. Trying to sell them for a free. Can't move them on. We still have £1,300 left. If we can move those on, we've probably got around 2.5k in total. We don't really have a lot to bring in. We don't really need a lot. We could probably do with another centre-back, whether that's a loan, whether that's a permanent, we'll have to just see. We really need a centre-back. But for now, that'll do it for what we've got. And tomorrow's episode, not tomorrow, but the next episode, we will be starting our first games in the first division. We have Mura and Kelj, who are probably expected to do... quite well. So this will be a really good tester for us. If we can, win 1 of 2 of those, I think we could potentially be in a top 4 race. Otherwise, we might just have to try and avoid relegation. The board just want to avoid relegation. I want to try and win the cup as well, or at least go far in the cup. But I think we've got a good squad. I think it's a little bit underrated by the season preview. I think we will be very much in a top 4 race. But we'll have to see. Obviously, there's a few new players at the club. We'll have to see how they all click. But I think this is the team we're going to go with. Danuto is going to miss out because he is injured. Usually, he would be the first left back in, not Mulisic. So he will make his debut. But this is, I think, the team we've got. Obviously, we'll talk about it more in the next episode. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this transfer special, and I'll see you all for the new season, the start of our second season here at Sezana very soon.